TABORA comes from Hebrew word Tabor, city given to Levites. Panda, city to the west, comes from Hebrew word Padan, which means ransom or redemption. Kenya comes from Hebrew word Kenines, Kaini or Kini, people incorporated with the Midianites at the time of Moses. MOMBASA comes from Hebrew word Basha, which means wicked son of Ashia, tribe of Ishar. Harucha comes from Hebrew word Harsha. In Tanzania, generally all names are from the northeast, from the east to the center and the south of the African continent. This phenomena is justified by the Roman aggression of the 7th century led by the Byzantine Empire, which was the Roman Empire of the East. The fugitives gave the same names to the new camps in the memory of the places they had just left, a phenomena that is even seen in the movement of people from Europe to the Americas. That is why the same names are everywhere in Africa, from the north to south, showing the movements of displacement of peoples. Zimbabwe comes from the languages of the south coast of Zaire and means stone house. Harare comes from Hebrew word Hada, epithet applied to the several heroes of David. It is noted that LUSAKA and HARARE are two close capitals, as Saka and Harar are brothers in Jewish history, which is not a coincidence. See Sahara or Hariri of Harar, who dwells in the mountains. Inhabitant or descendant of Harar may be only a mountaineer. Hannibal of Harar, one of David's heroes. Shammah of Harar, one of the heroes of David. Sakar of Harar, father of Ashiam, one of heroes of David. Limpopo River, separating Zimbabwe and South Africa. This name is also that of the river of Zaire, Congo, at the level of its capital, Kinshasa. Mozambique, Zambi, that comes from the Hebrew word Yabne. Zambi, Zambe, Yambe are variants of Yabne. Bantus invoke Yabnil in order to despair. Yabne or Yabne, Lambi, city of Judah. Niassa, northern province. This word is taken as Nyanza. Yassa in Tanzania, Burundi, Zaire. Niassa comes from Hebrew word Yassa or Yassai, son of Bani. Manika comes from Hebrew word Nibkaz. Nibkaz, the one who barks. One of the two idols of the Evians, people brought to Samaria to occupy the country after the deportation of the 10 tribes. SOFALA comes from Hebrew word Sofara. Gaza comes from Hebrew word Gaza, Azza, strong place, city of Judah. Bira comes from the Hebrew word Bira, Biros, wells, city attributed to Benjamites. Zambia. During colonization, Zambia and Zimbabwe were the same country and were called Rhodesia, north and south. Rhodesia comes from Hebrew word Rhode, S or Rhode, Pod, Rose, island of the Mediterranean, measuring 72 kilometers long and 32 kilometers wide, known in the Middle Ages by the apostles of Jesus. Zambi probably comes from Hebrew word Zabne. Lusaka comes from Hebrew word Saka or Sakar, gauges. Saka is native of Harar and father of one of David's heroes, sons of Obed Edom. Gola comes from Hebrew word Golan, clan of Judah. Solwezi comes from Hebrew word So and Lwezi. Chifata comes from Hebrew word Yiftah or Yiftach, City of Judah, unknown site. Angola. The word is pronounced as Gola in the Angolan language. Gola comes from the Hebrew word Golan or Golan. Their captivity, passage, exodus. This word comes from north or from Sudan. Cities. Wambo. Wambo comes from the Hebrew word Wahib. What it did, place close to Arnon. This word is taken up in several countries of the south. Wamba, Wembo, and Luembo in Zaire, Loebo, Loemba, and Owando in Congo Brazzaville, Owambo in Namibia, and Wambo in Angola. Dozer. Northwest city comes from the Hebrew word of Orzer, father of Palal, who built the rampart of Jerusalem. This town is, as if by chance, close to the town of Palabala. Namibia or Mibia comes from Hebrew word Mibehar, choice, one of the heroes of David, son of Hagri. Botswana comes from Hebrew word Sanan or Bet Sanan, Sanan, house of the herds. Botswana is the country in Africa where number of cows exceeds, as by chance, that of the human population. Galagadi comes from Hebrew word Gala and Gadi. Galad comes from Hebrew word Gilad. Gadi comes from Hebrew word Gidi, my happiness. Guado comes from Hebrew word Giach and means gushing like a spring. Ganzi comes from Hebrew word Gaza. Several names of the place of South Africa mark the presence of English and German settlers, but the names of the blacks mark the presence of Hebrews. Remember that the country was before called Yazania, like Tanzania. The most important are the following names. Zulu comes from Hebrew word Haul or Fool, meaning sky or high, second son of Aram. Hikatat comes from Hebrew word Hikatat, meaning small town of Zabulon. Kosa comes from Hebrew word Hosa or Hosha. Humtata comes from Hebrew word Humta, city of Judah. Wenda comes from Hebrew word Wanya or Wanya. The Lord is praised. Descent of Bani, the word keeps its Hebrew form in Congo in the region of Bandundu. Soweto comes from Hebrew word so and veto, which means our, so, or our territory. Lesotho comes from Hebrew word so-eto, or the deportees. Africa has experienced two major deportations, that of Africans, sons of Cham, Ezekiel 29:12-16, then that of Makongo, Judah. First, that of 7th century which led to the captives of Europe, the Indian Ocean and Asia. Second, that of the 14th century that led to the Americas, but long before this mass that made all the blacks of America slaves, African communities from Mali were inventoried and known by scientists. Read John G. Jackson in Introduction to African Civilization by Ad Editorial Offices, 600 Madison Avenue, New York, 10022.